Hello and welcome to the Literary Masterpieces. I'm Muhammad Talib, lecturer of English. In this series of presenting the summary of the world masterpieces, today I'll be presenting the summary of the world famous novel 1984, written by George Orwell. First of all, I would like to discuss with you about the author of this novel. The author of this novel is George Orwell. His real name is Eric Arthur Blair. It is his real name, and he writes under the pen name George Orwell. It is his pen name, but his real name is Eric Arthur Blair. He was born in 1903 in British India when Britain was ruling India. The name of his father is Richard Wolmesley Blair, and he graduated from the University of Eton. He is famous as a novelist, an essayist, a journalist, and a literary critic. The works, the two works written by George Orwell are Down and Out in Paris and London. This novel was published in 1933. In this novel, he tells about the poverty in London. The next important novel written by George Orwell is Burmese Tea. This novel was published in 1934, and in this novel, he tells about his experience in Burma while he was serving in Indian Imperial Police. The next important novel is Animal Farm. This novel was published in 1945, and in this novel he tells about the Russian Revolution. It's a kind of satire. The next important novel is 1984, and this novel we are going to deal in detail. This novel was published in 1949. It's a kind of dystopian novel. Dystopian novel is a novel in which a society is imagined in which there is suffering, hardship, and pain. In this novel, in this particular novel, 1984, a society has been imagined in which there is complete restriction over the movement of the people. There is no privacy. People are not free. People are not allowed to think freely. They are not allowed to have sex. And thinking against the government is considered to be the thought crime. If anyone does thought crime, he will be arrested by the police. So this is all about the novel 1984, and this novel will deal in detail. The next important novel written by George Orwell is Homage to Catalonia. This novel was published in 1938, and in this novel, George Orwell deals with the Spanish Civil War. Now I would like to discuss with you about the novel 1984. I would like to discuss the key facts of this novel 1984. The full title of this novel is 1984, and as has already been told, it was written by George Orwell, whose real name is Eric Arthur Blair. It was written between 1945 and 1949, and it was published in June 1949. The age to which this novel belongs is late modernism, and the genre, it's a novel and it's a dystopian novel and it's a satire too. As I have already told you, dystopian novel is a novel in which a society is imagined, in which there is suffering, pain, hardship, which is just the opposite of utopian. And in this particular novel, 1984, a society has been imagined in which people are not allowed to have sex, people are not allowed free thinking, and there is no privacy, there is no secrecy. There is complete control over the movement of the people, and there is a person named Big Brother. He is ruling all over the country, and the name of the country is Oceania. And the name of the person is Big Brother. Wherever you go, all around the country, there are images of Big Brother bearing the message, Big Brother is watching you. So this is all about this novel. It's a kind of dystopian novel, and the protagonist of this novel is Winston Smith. He the protagonist, he the hero. He is the person who wants to revolt against the party which is ruling the country, which is ruling Oceania. He wants to revolt against Big Brother, and the antagonist or the villain of this novel is the party which is ruling Oceania, which is a totalitarian government, and which is imposing restrictions on the movement of the people. Or the Big Brother is the antagonist of this novel. Big Brother or the party. Big Brother is the highest ranking officer of the party, or he the perceived ruler of the party, which is ruling Othnia. As far as the time, the setting of time is concerned, 1984, the year 1984 has been shown, though this novel was written in 1949, but 1984 has been shown. The writer has tried to show what might happen in future, what kind of society we may have in future, just because of the advancement in science and technology. And as far as the setting of place is concerned, London has been shown. Now I would like to discuss with you characters. The chief character of this novel are, first of all, I would like to discuss with you Winston Smith. He is the protagonist of this novel, and he is the only person who wants to revolt against the party, who wants to revolt against the big brother. He is not happy with the restrictions of the party which is ruling Othnia, and he loves a girl whose name is Julia. Julia is the girl whom Winston Smith loves. Both of them have secret affair, and both of them wants to be away from the party, wants to revolt against the party. The next important character is O'Brien. O'Brien is a member of the inner party, but Winston doesn't understand this thing. Winston Smith considers that O'Brien is a member of the Brotherhood, the group which is trying to overthrow the government. Winston Smith thinks that O'Brien is a member of the Brotherhood, which is trying to overthrow the government, but it is not the case. O'Brien is not the member of the Brotherhood. He is in reality the member of the inner party which is ruling Othnia. So Winston is not able to understand O'Brien. That is why he is caught. He is arrested. And Big Brother is the perceived ruler of Othnia. He is the highest ranking member of the party which is ruling Othnia. Wherever you go around the country, there is a message flashing on the board that Big Brother is watching you. Wherever Winston Smith goes, he sees the image of Big Brother bearing the message. Big Brother is watching you. Big Brother has an eye on each and every activity. He is monitoring each and everything. And he is a totalitarian ruler. He has complete control over the country. He has complete control over Othnia. The next important character is Mr. Charrington. He is a spy. He's a spy, and he's working in the thought police. Winston is not able to understand him too. Winston thinks that Mr. Charrington is the supporter of his views. Winston thinks that Mr. Charrington supports his views of rebellion against the party, but Mr. Charrington is in reality the member of the thought police. Now I would like to discuss with you the summary of this novel. As I have already told you, that Winston Smith is a member of the ruling party in London, in the nation of Othnia. He is the low-ranking member. Winston Smith is the low-ranking member of the party, and he is working in the department, in the Ministry of Truth. His work is to alter history. He is changing history. He is working under the party, but he is not happy with the views of the party. He is not happy with the restrictions of the party. He wants to revolt against the policy, against the restrictions of the party. Though he is working under the party, but he is against the party. Big Brother, as I have already told you, the Big Brother is the greatest member of the party. He is the perceived ruler of the party, and he is the controller of the country of Othnia. Wherever you go, his picture is there, bearing the message, Big Brother is watching you. He has complete control. He doesn't allow the people even to think against him. He has invented a new kind of language which is known as Newspeak, in which the words which are concerned with the rebellion have been eliminated. Party implementation of an invented language called Newspeak, as I have told, that the party which is ruling Othnia, all the Big Brother has implemented a language which is known as Newspeak, and the purpose of this language is to remove the word which might which might give rise to rebellion. So he has removed all those words which may give rise to rebellion, and a new kind of language has been imposed over the people of Oceania, so that there may not be a rebellion. So party has implemented an invented language which is known as Newspeak. Thinking rebellious thought is the crime in the nation of Oceania. I have already told that if a person thinks against the government, if a person thinks about things against the big brother, he might be arrested by thought police because it is a thought crime. Winston buys a diary to write his criminal thoughts. Winston, who is working in the Ministry of Truth, to write his thought, he had bought a diary, and he is secretly writing his thoughts about love. He is secretly writing his thought of freedom. He is secretly writing his thought about sex. So it is a crime, and he thinks that someday or the other he might be arrested. He knows this thing. Winston desired to have friendship with O'Brien, who he thinks to be the member of Brotherhood. Winston thinks that O'Brien is the member of the Brotherhood, but O'Brien isn't the member of the Brotherhood. Though he shows that he is a member of the Brotherhood, but he is in reality the member. He is the member of the inner party, which is ruling Oceania. Winston is not able to understand O'Brien. That is why he shares his thoughts that he wants to revolt against the government. O'Brien makes Winston reveal this openly, and then it is just because of this Winston is arrested. Winston works in the Ministry of Truth. His work is to alter history. This I have also told, that Winston works in the Ministry of Truth, and his work is to alter history. He is changing the history. He is altering that Oceania was with East Asia against the war with Eurasia, though in reality it is not the truth. Winston thinks that it never happened. Oceania never supported East Asia against Eurasia. But he is changing just because he is working in the ministry, just because he is working under the party. He has to change that history. One day Winston gets a note from a dark-haired girl, Julia, saying I love you. One day he gets a note in which it was written that girl loves Winston. So Winston knows, and Julia also knows, that this is against the country. This is against the rules of the country, and they might be arrested. So that is why they have a secret relationship. Winston and Julia meet O'Brien's at his luxurious apartment. They go, both Julia and Winston go to the apartment of O'Brien and reveal their thoughts about the party, that they are against the party and they want to revolt against the party. It is just at this time that O'Brien gives them the book of Emmanuel Goldstein, and Emmanuel Goldstein is considered to be the most dangerous person against the party. He is considered to be the highest member of the Brotherhood, which is trying to overthrow the government of the party, which is against so Emmanuel Goldstein is considered to be the most dangerous person for the party. O'Brien gives the book of Emmanuel Goldstein to Julia and Winston. But at this moment, the thought police comes and arrests both Winston and Julia. Police barge in there and arrest both Winston and Julia. Winston is tortured in room 101, and there he is made to believe that 2 and 2 equals 5, and he is made to believe that Big Brother is the ruler of Oceania, and whatever Big Brother of the party is saying or doing is correct. So this is the summary of the novel 1984, written by George Orwell. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.